We are live Thursday night, the BBQ Pit MMA. We have UFC Vegas 57 coming up this Saturday night. Arman Tsarukyan versus Mateusz Gamrot. We're going to get right into it. Tsarukyan coming in, a little bit of a favorite, minus 260. 18-2, 5-1 in the UFC, with his only UFC loss being against Islam Makhachev in his UFC debut. He has never been submitted. Has only been knocked out in one of his two losses. That knockout loss was his second professional fight. He's got big UFC wins over Joe Alvarez, Matt Frevola, and Davey Ramos. He's going against Mateusz Gamrot, who is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so no ground game for Tsarukyan. 21-1, 3-1 in the UFC, and he lost his debut to split decision to Graham Kutaladze. And all three of his other fights were wins by finish. Scott Holtzman, Jeremy Stevens, and Carlos Diego Ferreira. Gamrot's never been finished in his career, so I think this fight goes to a decision. And if that's the case, I think Arman Tsarukyan probably has a little bit of the upper hand, just being able to outpoint him, which is a tough fight, man. I like Gamrot. I think Gamrot could have got a fast track to the title, but hitting a guy like Arman Tsarukyan this early in his UFC career is not going to be good for Gamrot. So I got Tsarukyan via decision. Neil Magny, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat Rakhmonov is undefeated, 15-0, master of sport and combat sambo. He's got a 100% finish rate with 8 knockouts and 7 submissions. Say what's up to Des in the background, making her appearance. Hey. Gonna go away like you don't hear us. We got her over there now. We'll get her somewhere after we see her in the fucking thing again. Either way, where were we? 100% finish rate, 8 knockouts, 7 submission wins for Rakhmonov. He's 3-0 in the UFC. He has submitted Alex Oliveira and Michel Prajes, and then he has a knockout win over Carlson Harris in his most recent fight. He also has a submission win over Jung Young Park at M1 Challenge 81 in 2018. He's going against a UFC veteran, Neil Magny. Magny, brown belt in jiu-jitsu, strong wrestler, 26-8 overall. He's got 26 wins via decision, 5-1 after getting knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio. That one loss in that 6th fight was against Michael Chiesa, also a really good, strong, dominant grappler. 2 of Magny's losses are via decision, and he has a 2-inch height and a 3-inch reach advantage going against Rakhmonov. I think Rakhmonov is going to be a better grappler than Neil Magny. Shocker. Everybody thinks Neil Magny is one of the greatest grapplers in that division. He is. He's got strong wrestling. Going up against a wrestler like Rakhmonov with that background in sambo. With a background in sambo, I don't think he's going to have the grappling. I think Neil Magny is going to have to rely heavily on his strikes, which Rakhmonov has shown holes in his striking, and Magny has progressed significantly in his striking in his most recent fight. So could be a deciding factor. I think at minus 390, it'd be silly to go with the underdog here. So I'm going to go Shavkat Rakhmonov via decision. It's probably going to go to decision, I would think. Nate Manis versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Of course, we skipped a few fights on the main card. Manis, blue belt in jiu-jitsu, 14-1 professional record. His one loss was a knockout loss to Taylor Lupus in 2019. He is 3-0 in the UFC with a decision win over Johnny Munoz Jr., a submission win over Luke Sanders, and then a TKO win over Tony Gravely in his most recent fight, and that was in September of last year. He's got 5 knockout wins, 3 submission wins. And he's going into this fight going up against Nurmagomedov, who's coming in with a slight size disadvantage. 14-0 is his professional record. He is 2-0 in the UFC with rear naked choke wins over Sergey Morozov and Brian Kelleher. The Brian Kelleher submission was in the first round. So he's got 7 wins via submission, 6 wins by decision. Sambo background, of course, great striking, very quick, kind of guy. Minus 850. I don't think it's even going to be close. I know Namath is beast, but he hasn't fought anywhere up to the level of Nurmagomedov fighting Morozov and Kelleher in his 2 fights in the UFC. I think the experience is on his side, so I'm going to go Nurmagomedov via decision. A lot of decisions on the main card. I think that currently on a 7-fight winning streak right now, with 2 of those wins being in the UFC, a knockout win over Phil Hawes and then a knockout win over Brandon Allen. He's got 14 wins via knockout and 11 wins via decision. 6 out of 8 of his losses are also via decision. He's got 1 career loss via knockout, and that was against Ray Cooper. His 1 submission loss was like one of his first professional fights. He's 14-3 since 2017, with those 3 losses being twice to Magomed Karimov and then once to Ray Cooper. That Ray Cooper was the 1 knockout loss. He's going against Rodolfo Vieira at UFC 258 in February. After that, he submitted Dustin Stolfus in his fight, which was July of last year. So he's got almost a year off, and he's just over a year removed from his first ever professional loss. With that being said, can Chris Curtis defend the takedown? He trains at a predominantly grappling gym. He trains with a lot of good grapplers, including females like Roxanne Modafferi. And he's really, really good on the ground, not to mention his own jiu-jitsu skills are amazing. And he's got power in his hands. Rodolfo Vieira looked to strike with Anthony Hernandez, and he does have power in the kicks. But I don't think he gets it done. I got Chris Curtis via knockout. That rolls us into our prelims, which 2 fights on here supposedly are going to be on the main card, which I think it'd be better off if the prelims. But Thiago is definitely a main card fight that I did not preview. Carlos Ulberg will be taking on Tafan Nofuishi. Shailan Nuradanbek will be taking on TJ Brown. Sergey Morozov will be fighting Julian Paiva. JP Buys just missed Roman Delate by a week. He'll be taking on Cody Duran. Mario Batista will be taking on Brian Kelleher, and then Vanessa Demaropoulos will be taking on Jinyan Fry. So good fight coming up. I always forget, but we are going to take a look into the future here. I know everybody's waiting on more. That is likely on hold till next season. And then the NFL content will come. I just got to finish up this graphic that I'm doing right now. Why can't it open the page? There we go. All right, let's see. We got this Saturday. And then July 2nd is UFC 276. Adesanya versus Cannonier. Volkanovski versus Holloway. Sean Strickland versus Alex Pierre. That's a really good card. I believe we don't skip a week. Yes, it is no skipping. After this Saturday will be that pay-per-view. Catch you back next Tuesday to preview that pay-per-view. Holla at us. Till then, stay barbecued. You guys know what the fuck it is, Bo.